Welcome to On the Group with Jineea here on Sunday afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today on the group. So how are you feeling today? How are you feeling this Sunday? We've got our new day and America is sitting right under our feet. The political blocks we thought were permanent are cracking, new coalitions are forming, and the black vote, that's us people, once taken for granted, is suddenly the most unpredictable force in American politics. Today on the group, we are asking the real question: is America entering a new political reality? And if so, where does Black America fit in this map? Okay, the old political order is dialing. What do you think, people? Are you with me here? The traditional Democratic coalition is fractured. We know that, right? Younger voters don't vote like their parents, okay? Immigrant communities shifting political alliances, and Black voters are becoming more independent, issues focused, net party loyal. So the G-check moment is what happens when both sides stop being able to predict us. This is your On the Group G-check of the day. Now, use your perspective, okay? So the Trump administration is re-engaging Black leaders, okay? How's Lynn Patton is over Black engagement, new message with a new message strategy. What Black America actually wants is jobs, safety, ownership, and entrepreneurship. What either party is addressing is real economic notability. Are we looking for persuasion or exploitation? What is the difference, good people? How are you feeling out here with everything that's going on? What are you, a lot of people that say that they are not Black, that they're not a Democrat or not a Republican. A lot of people are saying that they're independent, right? And I think that that doesn't cut it either when we say that we are independent as a group, because independent, this is all about money. Excuse my hair. This is all about money out here, okay? So if the Democratic community is not putting money forward, then the candidate can't go forward. And so that also goes for the Republican community. I'm trying to make sure that we're all set. That also goes for Republican community. So if the Republican community is not doing outreach to Black folks, then who is? So the Democrats have manipulated us. The Republicans may not understand us or may not know how to use us in their forum yet. Now we say that we're independent. Most people that don't want to say that they're Republican but know that they can't do the Democratic thing say they're independent. But the reason why there's no space, I think that we're correct and we're independent in thought. But the reason why there's no space to go along with that is because there's no money coming out of the independent party. And this political thing is definitely an independent source as well. So there's chaos inside the Democratic Party. Okay, so let's talk about Mamdani just calling Adams a fascist. Now, I don't know what Eric Adams is up to. I don't know who sent him out, but he started making all these last minute orders, right? About all these last minute orders about making sure that they can boycott Israel in New York. So he put a whole bunch of pen to paper, and Adams said, no, we are not doing that. So we know that there's 179 staffers were asked to resign, right? So what were they asked to resign over? Just because Mamdani had new people? We know his transitional team is happening, is very ethnic. I think it's very new, right? We'll see where he goes with this. But I actually think that Mamdani is going to bring people in and say, oh, see, you do like a socialism type of setup. You are into socialism. If you weren't, you wouldn't like this and you wouldn't like that, right? So we have to decide what is really happening in the Mamdani space. I don't know why I'm missing my on the group here. So we have to really figure out what is happening in that space with Mamdani, okay? So the national Dems fractured from the local Dems, right? So in this case, socialism, we have socialism happening and we're acting like it's not happening, right? And so what I think what's going to happen is Mamdani is going to bring all these people into the fold. And he's got people thinking that this is regular Democratic stuff, but then they're going to turn around and say, oops, this was socialism the whole time. And so that's how I think that he's really going to grab a hold of everything that's going on. Urban voters losing trust in the party leadership. And see, that's what's happening to the Black community, okay? So the Black community is starting to say, wait a minute, this does not really make any sense from the perspective that I'm coming from, right? This is not really helping me. How are you helping us? What are you doing in this space, right? And so that's where we are, okay? So Black voters are becoming free agents, okay? Now, when we say free agents, that means it's anybody's game. That means that we're still up for the Democratic Party. That means that we're potential with the Republican Party, and the independent party comes out to be the safe place to go. But there's no independent going to engage you because, again, the independent party doesn't make enough money. The Democratic and the Republican parties, they'll push far more than $1 billion. And if you haven't noticed, okay, the politically, you need money to run. Okay, so Black men are trending more conservative, and I think that this may just be a part of the Trump reaction to things, that Black men are engaged and they like to be more conservative because they like the more manly, I'm not doing this. Trump telling everybody about themselves and everything like that. Black women reconsidering political loyalty. Now, this is big because Black women have been the loyal grain to the Democratic Party. Now, if they're reconsidering their loyalty, then the Democratic Party has to reconsider their messaging. You know what I'm saying? Because now what happens, right? So what are we talking about when we're saying this? So the rise of the independent media, you got Charlemagne the God, you got Candace Owens, and you got a bunch of influencers saying a lot. Okay, I feel like Charlemagne, I'm more proud of him now than I have been in the past, and that is because he's becoming more real in our eyes. I think before that he went along with the establishment much of the time, but now he's going more in a direction that I think is good for everybody, and that direction is, hey, this is right, this is wrong. Now, Stephen A is jumping out, right? And he's talking about different stuff. But I think that we need to find out what's good for us, because these influencers and these people who are getting paid to speak, right? We don't know who's paying them, right? So we got to figure out where we lie. So there's political identity shifting from party to personal interest. And this is what we need to focus on, is our personal interest. Who's in our best interest, right? Typically, and over the years, we've said that the Democrats had our best interest at heart. But I think I think that it wasn't purposeful, that they actually said, hey, look, we forgot about you a little bit. We manipulated you a little bit. And the reason why they manipulate the Black and brown vote is because we don't pay attention most of the time. Now, what's happening is we're paying attention more. Okay? So more of the time we're paying a lot of attention to what's going on. And as we're paying attention, we're getting real, and we're getting the information that we need. And we're like, hold up, wait a minute. let me put some pimping in it. So what about what the new political reality actually looks like? Your urban reset framework is perfect, okay? So multiracial, multicultural coalitions, okay? This is new political reality. Economics becoming the top issue. Serious thing. Border, crime, cost of living are reshaping politics, because I think that when we see ICE outside, I think that we have to all take a look and say, well, where do we stand when it comes to ICE, right? You know, how do you feel about ICE coming into your neighborhood and coming to get the hardworking Hispanic Americans out and back to their countries? Now, I feel two ways. I feel like these people may be the hardest working people in America, but they're doing it because they want the citizenship. Or is it just natural for them to work hard? I think it's a little bit of both. And I think that we have to consider where we lie. Let me move back a little bit. I'm trying to get out my own way. And I think that we have to consider where we lie with stuff. Okay, if I move back a little bit, I look a little better. How's that look, people? So now, economics becoming the top issue. Now, economics should be our top issue. Do you agree? I agree that economics should actually be our top issue. Now, what happens and how are we going to move that? How are we going to move that needle in favor of us, okay? Young Black America is starting to demand ownership, opportunity, respect, real representation, and leaders who deliver and not just talk. Now, that is the young Black America, and we love to see it, right? This is what we've been asking for, thank God, for the people that came before us that led us down this route. So bring in your citizenship, okay? So I am a citizen of the United States of America. I'm also a citizen of hip hop, meaning that I love and I act, dress like a person, a citizen in the United States that is part of the hip hop, community / culture, right? So Black America is no longer an accessory. We are the undecided center of gravity. And whoever understands our needs, respects our power, and invests in our future, we will define the next era of American politics, okay? So this is so true in so many ways, okay? This is serious in so many ways, because what does citizenship mean to us in America? Okay, what part are we going to play when we talk citizenship? What part are we going to play? That is the very important, necessary situation that we need to be discussing today, is what part are we going to play in this American society? I, as a citizen, it's a sovereign power, the United States. I am a citizen of America. And so that means that when I go outside of this country, I am recognized as an American citizen, that my culture is American. My passport only leads to America. So some people can get their dual citizenship in other countries. My passport leads and comes from America. Now, I can probably move around the best from here, but now will America respect me like I'm asking and I'm needing? And what I'm telling you is based on how we vote. But we have to start voting smart. We can't always vote emotional. And that's where we got to lie. So we're going to go to a break, and we're going to come right back on Millennium News TV